Back to another video. Today we will be talking about Bitcoin and the potential future that it has in the American markets. Now, Bitcoin, everybody knows about Bitcoin. It's a blockchain cryptocurrency, and there's a lot of controversy over it. And the reason why is because a lot of people find it speculative, especially with no federal backing or really regulation around it. There's a lot of stigma around it for black market transactions and stuff. But the one, the only, Elon Musk has brought up a little bit of, questioning around it in the bigger corporations in America. So as you can see here, Elon Musk actually tweeted out back in response to a man named Michael Saylor. Now, Michael Saylor, he's an American businessman. He is co-founded MicroStrategy. They are actually traded in the public markets, and their ticker symbol is MSTR, but I'm not really going into them right now. But I do want you guys to take a look at the trend over the last 5 years and how they just have exponentially grown just this past year from about June all the way here to December. So going on MicroStrategy's website, you can see here how they actually talk about Bitcoin. And Michael Saylor is actually changing MicroStrategy's cash equivalents into Bitcoin. And now, as you can see here, they hold a lot of Bitcoin equivalent to about 780 million, and they're no longer holding the US dollar. Now, I find this very interesting and very, how do I say this, intriguing, because more and more high-powered CEOs are beginning to look at the possibilities of Bitcoin rather than the US dollar. And this, in some sense, makes a lot of sense because of the fiat system that we're in right now and how the US dollar has just been diminishing and devaluing over the last 100 years. So Tesla, going back to them, has about $14.5 billion on hand this past quarter that they reported. And this is very interesting because, again, if that deflates over time, it's just going to kill their stockpile. And Bitcoin, as everyone knows, has just been surging up, and they're about 88% done with the entire blockchain and mining of Bitcoin. And everybody knows the crazy returns that have been over the last 5-10 years. Even in the last year, they're up well over 200%. And the reason why a lot of these CEOs are starting to begin to look into Bitcoin is because the fiat system is not very, how do I say this, reliable by any means. It's just devaluing, especially with the stimulus packages that have been given out in the past year due to the events. And the reason why people are starting to look into Bitcoin is because not only has it been an appreciating asset, but a lot of people are starting to realize that Bitcoin is essentially the digital gold. They are, of course, as you can see, appreciating rather than depreciating in value. But not only that, if Bitcoin stays the same, it does not go up 1%, does not go down 1%, it'd be a win for any company that transfers all their cash equivalents into Bitcoin, because the US dollar is losing value, and it will lose value, and that's just the nature of the fiat currency that we use. Now, Elon Musk did tweet out back to Michael Saylor questioning the likelihood or even the ability to transfer that much money into Bitcoin. And he responded and basically said that he has transferred a large amount of money in the last couple months. As you could see, that they're now holding $780 million in Bitcoin, and he said that it was a pretty smooth transition. Now, as you can see here, from the last about 120 years, $100 back in 1900 is worth a mere $3 in 2020. So even if Bitcoin can just keep pace with just inflation or hedge against it, it could be a very big W for any big company. Now, what can this mean for Bitcoin in the future? I think a couple of things. I think since Elon Musk himself is going to buy a large amount, investors are going to take Bitcoin more seriously, and thus investors are going to have a large backer, which is Tesla. I think that they have always been very innovative and on the forefront of the future of technology and business. Now, a lot of money is going to flow into Bitcoin, of course, with the $14 billion that Tesla has, but also the ETFs that will flow money into Bitcoin. And from there, the small and mid and large companies, all three different sections, are going to start holding in Bitcoin in the future if companies such as Tesla or MicroStrategies is converting. And now I can also see someone like Apple maybe converting some money into Bitcoin as well. Maybe not their entire cash reserve, but even if they do 10, 20%, it could be a very positive investment or hedge against the US dollar. And as you can see from the MicroStrategies, once they invested in it, they have skyrocketed. And the reason why I think this is because, of course, MicroStrategy is a company in themselves, but they have an underlying asset that's also an investment in themselves as well. So when you invest in a company like MicroStrategy, you're not only investing in MicroStrategy, but their large Bitcoin holding, which I think for someone like Elon Musk and him running Tesla could be a massive thing, because when you convert something like $14 billion into Bitcoin and it jumps up 20%, that is a lot of money we're talking about. And again, yes, it could drop down 15% as well very easily, 20%, even deflate like it used to in the past 5 years, as we can see, hitting highs of 19,000 and dropping all the way back to 3,000. But as we look on into the future here, I think that Bitcoin is going to stabilize a lot, especially going back to say that 88% of Bitcoin has been mined. So it's going to stabilize very, very much like the S&P 500, where I can see it going up maybe 1-2%, coming down 1-2%, and not have these massive moves of 13% in the last 7 days, or thousands of percents in years. Bitcoin's previous volatility. Now, I'm very intrigued to see what Elon does with this. I think that he will be a large influencer in this movement, and I think that this movement is essentially inevitable, especially with the fiat currency that we're using now. I will keep you guys updated on what Elon is doing about this. If you can, please drop a like on this video. It helps me out a lot, and sub for the algorithms. But if you enjoyed this video, please check back for more content and take it easy.